welcome back to another lesson from Major Education Online Teaching. My name is Mr. Toby, and today we're going to be looking at the Tiếng Anh 8 book, and we're going to be focusing on page 102, 103, and 104. Last week we learned about some different places in Vietnam, and we wrote a paragraph about our favourite places. So we talked about places we have been to before. This week, we're going to learn to read and talk about and find information about different places in Vietnam. Maybe you've never travelled there before. So it is important to be able to find out information, so you might want to travel there in the future. So the places we're going to look at are Nha Trang, Đà Lạt, Sapa, Ha Long Bay. So I will read the information from each place. You just listen. Nha Trang, Seaside Resort. Sites, Oceanic Institute, Giant Buddha, Offshore Islands. Accommodation, a small selection of hotels. Arrivals and departures. Flights daily to Ho Chi Minh City, except Monday. Flights to Hanoi twice a week. Buses and trains to northern and southern destinations. Đà Lạt, known as the City of Eternal Spring. The sites are waterfalls and lakes, railway, and flower gardens. Accommodation, many hotels, but difficult to find accommodation at busy times. Arrivals and departures. Flights to and from Ho Chi Minh City 3 times a week. Buses and minibuses to Nha Trang and Ho Chi Minh City. The next one, Sapa. Mountainous resort. Sites, tribal villages, beautiful mountain slopes, jungle streams. Accommodation, some hotels and guest houses. Arrivals and departures. Buses daily to Lao Cai town. Trains daily from Lao Cai to Hanoi. And the last one, Ha Long Bay, recognised by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. The sites are magnificent caves, beautiful limestone islands, quiet sand beaches. Accommodation, hotels and mini hotels in Ha Long City and various islands. Low-priced guest houses in Ha Long City. Arrivals and departures. Buses and trains daily to and from Haiphong and Hanoi. So this is our information on 4 different places in Vietnam. On our next page, we have 14 different categories that we're going to look at in a minute. So I will read them, you can repeat them. We have flights to Hanoi. Hotels. Local transport. Mini hotels. Mountain slopes. Railways. Caves. Restaurants. Sand beaches. Tourist attractions. Types of food. Villages, waterfalls, and World Heritage. So these are your categories. What I want you to do, I want you to pause the video. I want you to make sure you read these dialogues or this information on your own. If there's any words you don't understand, look them up in a dictionary. Once you're familiar with all of this information, what you have to do is you have to tick the boxes for the categories. For example, if Nha Trang has caves, you tick caves. We'll go through a couple, I'll do a couple with you, just so you understand. So, Nha Trang, flights to Hanoi. It says here, arrivals and departures, flights to Hanoi, twice a week. Yes, perfect. Hotels. Well, in accommodation, a small selection of hotels. Again, perfect. Local transport. Arrivals and departures. It says buses and trains to northern and southern destinations. That means there is local transport, there is buses. Mini hotels. Well, it says a small selection of hotels, but doesn't mention mini hotels, so we put a cross. So, that is what you have to do. Pause the video, read through all of the information, make sure you understand it all, practice speaking and reading, and then go through all of the information, putting ticks and crosses next to the proper information. If it's there, tick. If it's not there, cross. Pause the video now. Do this for all of the 4 different categories. Once you're done, we'll go through the answers together. Good luck. Welcome back. I hope you managed to answer all of our different questions and find the relevant information. So we're going to go through the answers. We're going to go through each one at a time. So, flights to Hanoi. Well, only Nha Trang has flights to Hanoi. It says here, flights to Hanoi twice a week. All of the rest are buses or flights to Ho Chi Minh City. Hotels. Well, in accommodation, they all have hotels. Local transport. Local transport is things like buses and trains. In arrivals and departures, they all have buses and trains. Mini hotels. Only Halong Bay has mini hotels. It says here, hotels and mini hotels. So, a mini hotel is just a small hotel. Mountain slopes. This is in Sapa. If you look in sights, beautiful mountain slopes. Railway. Well, they all have a railway because when you get a train, you have to go to the railway. Dalat has a very beautiful railway that is a tourist attraction. The rest are just normal railways you get your train. Caves. Halong Bay. It says here, magnificent caves. The next one, restaurants. Well, it doesn't mention anything about restaurants in the information. So we're going to have to say no. Obviously these places do have restaurants, but the information doesn't say so. Sand beaches are in Nha Trang, it's a seaside resort, and Halong Bay, quiet sand beaches. Tourist attractions. Well, these are all the things in sights. Giant Buddha, railway, tribal villages, magnificent caves. They are all tourist attractions. Types of food, again, we don't know. It doesn't say, it mentions nothing about restaurants or food. Villages, this is Sapa. It says in Sapa, tribal villages. Waterfalls, Dalat, again in the sites, waterfalls and lakes. And World Heritage, that is Halong Bay, recognised by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. This means that it is very, very famous around the whole world and is very important to protect by the environment and to keep a beautiful place for people to enjoy. I hope this helped you trying to understand some of the different answers and information. Now you can have a look at all of the answers. Make sure you got them correct. Change them if you got them wrong. But that's it for this week, or this lesson. Join us again for part 2, where we'll try and read some information, a bit more complicated than this, and answer some information about this as well. Good luck. Bye-bye.